Cool. So let's jump in because the other 40 G's, which is nuts, was all just normal simplified issues. So how many? Do you know how many policies that was?
15, 17, something like that.
So 15 to 17 policies.
Something like that. Huh?
18?
Yeah.
So my first question, what magical leads are you running?
I'm on the special ones, so they all come with like the account number, routing number. I just need the 6 digits. No, I'm on the same ones. Like I promised you guys, like if anybody has any questions, you guys can look at all my ringy. It's all the same. I still get the same fuck offs. I still get the I didn't submit it, not interested. It's just pushing through.
So same leads. You do spend. You're a broker. So
Right.
how much do you spend every week on leads?
No matter like it's a non-negotiable. Spend $1,800 every single week. I've done that for about 4 months now. I've never turned it off except when I went on vacation.
Cool. So $1,800 a week on autopilot.
Yep.
And then you just work vets or what?
Just
what do you
work vets. Yeah.
So just veterans.
Just veterans.
And then why do you feel like if I give you, let's say I give you 100 leads, and with your personality, you close 30, 40 G's off of those leads versus let's say there's a different rep who they get the same leads, but then they don't have the same success. Why do you think that would be?
Just my mentality going into selling. I'm going to be the best no matter what I am. Like, doesn't matter. I've always told myself that I'll be good at anything I do. Like, I don't have to, like, I can make a decision, but I'll figure it out later. So I just know the decision is to call them, and then how I'm going to sell them, I'll figure it out while I'm doing it. Other people will kind of be like, all right, I want to approach it this way. I want to call it this time. Like, I'm going to, like, he's from this place, so I gotta find out this. I don't do any of that. Just go straight in. Just know that no matter what, you're gonna sell something, and you own these leads. Like they're gonna sell, they're gonna buy. Like I don't worry about them not picking up. I don't go and be like, oh, it's this time right now. No, just go, call, close.
Yeah. So you don't really, because this, I was thinking about it, watching you while we were in Utah, watching you from afar a little bit, seeing like the deals. I was like, man, EJ's having a week. But I think after I was talking to Jesse and Trent about it, probably a lot of it has to do with your energy. And we don't talk about that a lot, but like, obviously you have leads, you have to work hard, but sometimes if you don't have the right attitude or the right energy, it doesn't matter how hard you work. Like you can make all the dials in the world. You could have as many leads as you want, but the guys and girls who have the energy will always win. And some of you may look at EJ and be like, man, how does he do it? I think energy is a big part of that. So what do you do to, like, do you have a specific routine in the morning that you start your day, or what does that look like?
Just roll out of bed. I try my hardest, like just hardest, whatever. I don't look at my phone. I just like, as soon as I wake up, I look at the time. I'm like, damn. And I try my hardest to get in the shower, get under that water, and that's it. I'm good. So as soon as I'm under the water, I just know, okay.
What time?
It's usually at 6.
Okay.
6. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that wakes up at 4, goes to the gym. I tried that. It doesn't kind of work for me. But yeah, no. I just wake up in the morning and I just get out there and I'm like, all right, I have to go to work. I have to sell. I have to get rich. That's my mentality. I don't really care about anything. I don't have any bullshit like goals or I want to do this. And I want money.
You just want to get rich.
I just want to get rich. I've always told myself that. And then like as soon as you find your gold rush, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Like God knows what happens tomorrow, so it's all in today.
Yep.
So
roll out of bed, and then what time are you at the office by?
I'm here about 6:50 or 7.
Okay. So 7 a.m. you're here, and then is there any like special routine that you go through? Just because obviously
might sound weird, but
people would want to switch places with you for last week. So like what they want to know like what you do. So
it might sound weird, but I get in like a headspace of selling, but it has to be like I go into my Instagram feed. I either look at a motivational video or I'll put on music just for a little bit, just so I can get in that headspace. And like, it sounds so weird. I always imagine myself at the highest stage of life, whether that's buying a nice car, having the accolades, whatever it is. I always imagine myself at number one and what that feels like. And then I just go right into it. Like, yeah, because sometimes I'll come in and I'll be like, fuck, I'm not in the right headspace. And I won't dial until I'm in that space. But don't get me wrong. I'm not here. Oh, I can't like call until I do this, that. No, I have to kind of switch it on. And as soon as it's on, it's on. Yeah. But I catch myself all the time.
But you have a trigger, which is always interesting. Because if you look at like fighters, UFC fighters, they all have their walkout song.
Yeah.
Right. That's not just for fun. Like that's.
I literally imagine myself selling today and imagine myself like getting deposits from Americo in 2 a.m. And I'm like, all right, that felt good. Let's do it again. Kind of just get a feel to it and jump right in.
So for you, the trigger of like, all right, now I'm in game
Yeah.
mode, I guess,
Yeah.
is
Either some
video, some
music, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever gets me that feeling.
Do you have to hear? I'm curious. Do you have to hear like some of those? Who's that super motivational guy that was at?
David Goggins?
Well, yeah, him too. Like, do you listen to like his stuff?
Nah.
No. Like who? Like Eric Thomas. That's who I'm thinking of. Is it stuff like that that like they're just like these motivational speakers? Does that help you or no?
It's
What
more
are you
like
talking about?
you're 21, you're a bitch, go. And that's really it. No, I swear, it's just
Yeah.
like I don't need I just need somebody to tell me to like, all right, you might have sold like 13,000 last week, but you're gonna like do it again.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're nobody. Like you just have to keep proving it on and on. Because I like the term of like coming in every week and whatever you sold last week just goes and it goes back to zero.
Yeah.
So now you have to climb this ladder again. That's what like motivates me to keep coming because it's a never-ending task. Like
Yep.
you always have to constantly improve yourself. And 1 week when somebody outsells me, like I don't know, I'm a little narcissist in my head. I'm like, no way,
Especially if it's major.
that's not possible. So yeah. I mean,
is he in here? Where
he's
is
not in here, but no.
He's sad, dude. So, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So now throughout the day, so you start the day hot, you're 7:30 a.m. You put yourself in the right headspace, which I used to think was like woo-woo, but I learned when I was knocking doors, like the guy and the girls who talk to themselves, like in between doors,
Yeah.
it was always like, all right, this one's a lay down, this one's going to buy, this one's going to buy. Do you do stuff like that in your mind as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, this guy's got. People walked into my office last week, and like I just got down the intro. They're asking me a question, and I look at them. I'm like, this guy's a buyer. And like 30 minutes later, I post it, and they're like, did you sell that guy? Yeah. Like I always do that.
In the intro.
And dude, in the intro,
it
as
doesn't
soon
even
as he
matter.
says yes
Yeah.
or whatever, I just know.
Yeah.
I just know.
So a lot of this is your energy. And
Yeah.
like your belief.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then what about like, okay, you start the day good, and then what if you go 0 for 5 on presentations before training? Then what?
Was that Friday, Nick? Yeah. It's 2 p.m.
So he was 0 for 5 by 2 on Friday?
Yeah, I was 2 p.m. I'm like 400 dials deep. I'm like, it's nothing for the guys, but for people who spend money on their leads, it's kind of a lot of dials, whatever. So I'm like dialing through. Everyone's telling me no. And I'm just like, okay. And then Nick's like, hey, I'll tell you what. We sell one by the time we leave, or by the time it's like 4, we can leave early. I'm like, no, Nick. Like, this is it. This is the golden hour. I'm always positive. No matter what it is, I'm like, this is the golden hour. If it's not here, it's here. If it's not here, it's here. It's never like, oh, today's just not the day. I only have that thought at the end of the day. When the work is done, when you can't physically do something about it, then I can give me those negative thoughts. Like okay, today wasn't the day. But never in the middle of the day, I'm just like, oh, fuck, like maybe today's not the day. No. So I stayed in there and I closed 4 after that.
That's crazy.
It's like, and I left at like 7, but I grinded my teeth out.
That was when you post the selfie with like.
There's a
Alan
bunch of people
yeah,
because
yeah.
I just kept telling me, I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm gonna get something out. I call the guy and I calls him. Like,
Yeah.
It just happens. Like, you
So
just can't.
was there anything that Nick said to you that like kept you going, or was
Yeah,
it
he
just
pissed me off. I told him, I was like, don't give me that stupid shit. Yeah, because he said, yeah,
Yeah.
because he gave me a ceiling. I don't like when people give me ceilings. They're like, if you close 1, you'll get to go home. It should have been like, no, EJ, like this is the golden hour. You're gonna sell 5, right? And I told him, I was like, don't give me that shit. I'm gonna sell more. And then I ended up selling more.
So you pissed him off.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, but I think the lesson there is, so you could start your day. Usually the motivation is the highest at the beginning of the day. I
Yeah.
think anyone can agree with that. Like driving into work, you listen to a song, podcast, whatever, you're pretty pumped because it's a fresh day. But then like the morning starts to go on, and if you don't see that success, it's easy to get in your head like, another Friday morning.
No,
this
Ty,
sucks. No, listen.
I see the concept
No,
everywhere.
Listen. So we do that,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
then the correct thing is the lesson is like, okay, once you catch yourself, because you catch yourself in that headspace.
Yeah.
Because I know that you do it, but like
Yeah.
not everybody in here. There's days that I don't do it, but you catch yourself doing it, and then the key is you go to a guy like Nick, or you go to someone else who like Nick is unwavering, right?
Yeah.
Like Nick's not gonna like you go vent to Nick, he's not gonna let you just go down. Like it's not gonna like, yeah, you're right, dude. Let's leave now. Like, let's go. This sucks. Leads suck. And then it doesn't let you go. He at least holds like a standard, and then you just took it even a step further. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not settling for one. Like I want to do 4 or 5, and you just keep going. So I think
Yeah.
the lesson when guys are feeling like they're in their head, don't go like you didn't go to just anybody. Like you
Right.
went
You always go up.
to a mentor. You went to a leader in Nick.
Yeah.
So go up and say, man, this is what I'm going through, and then let that leader pour into you. And then if they're
Yeah.
capping you on stuff, then
Yeah.
you can be the one to be like, no, I'm gonna one up you and go.
Exactly. And then to follow to that, I wasn't disagreeing with you, but when you catch yourself, like the biggest thing I do is when you catch yourself losing that motivation, you just go on Discord. It's the best way. It's like the proof of concept is there, right? We're on the same fucking sales floor where everyone's on the same time. He's on a different time. We're calling the same people, same states, whatever it is, right? And if he's selling, and now I'm saying like, oh, today's not the day, it is the day because he just sold, right? It would be different if no one is selling. You guys, all right, what's going on here,
Yeah.
right? But the proof of concept is here, there, in that office. So when I catch myself, I'm like, nope, get out of your head. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's probably your next call. It's probably your next call. So just keep going.
That's good.
And then, going always up is the best way to go. Never to discourage. When you're discouraged and kind of want to go to vent somebody, go on a rant, never go down because that person will just go even more down, right? You always want to like uplift yourself and go up because the next tier up will always lift you up instead. He'll never let you go down.
Yep.
Because he's been through the same thing. So he's gonna tell me that it's okay, just keep going.
Yep.
And I'll be like, you're right, and I just leave.
Yep.
Simple.
And then you keep working.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to get into some script stuff.
Let's do it.
But does anybody have any questions on, since we're talking about like mindset, routine, any questions for EJ on anything he does differently? Cool.
How many days a week do you work?
6 now. And then if it's possible, I would have worked 7.
How many days a week do you train?
Every day.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's the key.
I always do. There's always like a higher power above you. It's really good to have an ego. Don't get me wrong. I'm telling you, without an ego, you'll never succeed. But that ego has to be justified, meaning that you have to back yourself up with your accolades and your actions. You can't just say you're the best and then walk around with no sales, walk around with no dials, walk around with nothing. That's just ego death. You have to be able to justify and be like, I'm the fucking man, but you don't have to go around and explain why you're the man because everybody already sees your accolades. So I walk around with an ego into myself. I'm the best. I can do this. I'm the best. I never let it out. I never let it. And then actions speak for itself. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm the best, but actions speak for themselves. Like you have to get to that level. I brainwash myself every single day into saying like I'm the best. I'm going to do this no matter what. There's no one better than me. But then I don't let it I don't go tell people I'm the best.
Yeah, you don't have to tell people, but I do agree. I'll wrap up this part and then we'll go into some script. It's no different. There was 2 new agents in Utah that we were training up, and one of them has actually been here a little bit of time and was like viewing the dials as like a task. Like, oh, I got a dial. I'm at X amount of dials already. Haven't gotten anything. Versus another new agent, it was his first week. He was brand new, didn't have any expectations. He was just eager to dial. And then he sold 2 deals on his own. I was sitting there next to him, like telling him what to do, like telling him what to click.
Mm-hmm.
Like he sold 2 deals on his own his first week in like less than 100 dials. And it was because like what EJ's talking about is the second agent has this I could say this because he's my brother. The second agent has this cockiness about him where he has this belief in himself, in like his abilities. Like he's going to be the best. He's going to beat everybody. And so he did.
Yeah.
And then the other agent is maybe they're new to sales. So it's like they're learning and they're trying to figure this out, but they don't have that belief that, and at the beginning it could be delusional. It could be like, even if you're not the best, like last week you were, but let's say when you first started, if you believed you're the best, eventually you'll become the best.
Exactly.
And so there's a clear difference between the 2 mindsets. And we don't talk about that a lot because it's not, tactical script stuff, but it does make a difference. I guarantee, anybody who's on this board here, like if you look, even like Chris, Nick, Wesley, Senna's been on this board a bunch, like all the guys, Johnny, they all have this belief in themselves that they are the best. And so maybe the results don't come first or as quick as they'd want, but like eventually that I guess you call delusional belief in themselves
You're delusional until you're not.
until it works out.
yeah.
Exactly. So that was the biggest takeaway from you, EJ.
Yeah.
Appreciate you sharing that. Now, script stuff.
Mhm.
Let's jump into, I think, the hardest part for new agents or even seasoned agents is like the people that you just got a fresh lead or you're calling them for the first time and they just answer the phone pretty abrasive and like you got to get through to them. But they're like, I didn't fill it out.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. So I'm going to be that client to you.
Okay.
And I want you to turn it around and we'll take it to like suitability just so that they can see the intro.
Ring,
so.
ring.
Hello?
Hey, Ty.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, this is Edward. You requested some life insurance? Well, with veterans life insurance, you put Mary here as the beneficiary and yourself as a veteran.
I didn't request shit.
Oh, gotcha. So when you first were looking at this, was it more of like the funeral and final expenses or what were you looking for?
No, I wasn't looking for anything. I don't know. How'd you guys get my number?
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so give me 1 second here. So I have the email as tyisthecoolest@gmail.com. Is that your email?
That's an old one.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah. So, I see what's going on. I think Miss Mary put this in. Is she available by chance? Is she around?
No, she's at Pilates.
Oh, she's at Pilates. Gotcha. And then you are the veteran, correct?
Yeah, I served.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And then do you guys have anything currently in place or what's going on?
Yeah, we already got all that stuff through the VA, so we're all good. You could just take me off the list.
Gotcha. Okay. And then, so you guys might be overpaying for some insurance. Has she talked to you about that at all?
No, she just handles all that. I just make the money.
Oh, okay. That's what I was missing, Ty. So you're the main breadwinner and decision maker. So she probably wanted me to just give you a call to kind of go over some stuff. So, okay, no worries. So, Ty, you said that you have everything through the VA. If you just counted everything up, how much do you think you currently have in total coverage?
I have no clue. Just whatever they gave us, like it's probably like 10,000.
Oh, really? And then, do you want to be buried or cremated, Ty?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me too much.
Right, because I was gonna say, Ty, based just my experience with the veterans, cremation goes anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000, and burial goes anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000. Obviously, it depends on your headstone, the final expenses, maybe the celebration of life, and it looks like you guys just have the bare minimum. So it totally makes sense that Mary probably wanted some additional coverage. So now, obviously, you've done this before, but it's all federally regulated through age and health, no matter if you're a civilian or a veteran. Now, I do have you at 66 years young as she filled it out. What's a good date of birth for you, Ty?
I don't want to give you that.
Okay, no worries. I'll just leave it at the 66. And then about the health stuff, there's no blood work or physicals, Ty. So I'm not going to ask you any of that, but it's a yes or no question. And if one of them sounds like it's, too uncomfortable, you just yell at me. Sound fair? All right.
Okay, cut there. So that was awesome. So what did you guys notice like EJ does differently in his intros? Yeah, Sebastian.
Acknowledge, move on, control.
Acknowledge, move on, control. Yeah, that for sure. The whole time.
Tone.
Yeah.
Do what?
Tone.
Tone? Yeah. What about his tone did you guys notice?
He's curious.
Yeah, curious tone.
Does a lot of training on that. Sounding curious.
Yep.
And then
Yeah,
tone.
curious tone. Did you have?
I was gonna say he gets on your side.
Yeah. So the one thing that I picked up on was you painted this story of how we got here, basically.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't willing to tell you as the client,
Mhm.
and then you're just like, oh, hold on 1 sec. Oh yeah, so I think Miss Mary filled this out, and it's probably because maybe you guys are getting overcharged or something. How much coverage do you guys have in total? Like if you added it all up?
Yeah.
And then it was like, I don't know, 10,000. Like, oh, this is why we're talking. Now it makes sense. Miss Mary you basically told me
Yeah.
Mary filled it out because you guys don't have enough.
Yeah.
And like it was so assumptive that the client isn't gonna argue. The client's not gonna be like, no, she
It's a
didn't do
friendly
that.
assumptive in order to get him the
Exactly.
ammo. Like he's giving me all the ammo. Because if he says no, then it's only one way or the other. Now I know like behind all the smoke screen what could be a real objection. I'm assuming because that answer would give me either this or this.
Yep.
It's giving me a leadway.
Yep. Yeah, huge. And it's basically like we talk about intro why structure. The purpose of the why at the beginning is to get some sort of direction for the client. The problem I think that new agents make, and I made it early on, was like you assume that the client is going to give you that direction.
Yeah.
But then when the client doesn't give you that direction, you have to be the one that just lobs it up.
Yep.
And then they typically, because you have the control, they will typically just be like, oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
and they'll just roll with you.
And then like the key thing is that I see in the most of agents, like when they give you an objection like that, the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is to keep asking questions. Because if they're not willing to answer the first question, if you sounds good, what do you guys have now, or like how much coverage do you have now? That's so specific. They've already hated you in the beginning. They're not going to give you the second answer. So now it's your turn to kind of assume, because now it's either this or this. They'll give you the answer no matter what.
Yeah.
Right. Because if I
Yep.
say, "Oh, Ty, you have $1 million for a buck," they're like, "No."
Yeah.
Now at least I know you don't have that.
Yep.
It's kind of that same science, I guess.
So basically, like if their resistance is high at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and they're already pissed at you because
Yeah.
you're calling, and you
Yeah.
ask them some questions, they're like, "Why are you calling me? Like I didn't fill that out." And then you just keep trying to ask more questions.
Yeah.
That's just a quick way to piss them off even more.
They're just gonna hang up on you.
Yeah.
So just time to be assumptive. Time to like this is where the sales comes in.
Yeah, and what your tone was very intentional, because what you're doing is you see the screen right there. You see all their information.
Yeah.
But you're pretending like, and Wesley's really good at this too. You're pretending like something's pulling up, something's loading. You're like, okay, hold on. I'm confused now, like why I'm calling you then. Let me bear with me here. Oh, I see. It's because Mary's she filled it out.
Yeah.
And now you're just the curious. You're not a threat now. You're just trying to solve a question that he has too, of like, why is this guy calling me?
Yep. Because you're on his side now. We're both
Yeah.
curious. Now we know we can just put Mary, who is his beneficiary, as the guy who does this. Now me and him are on the same side.
Yep.
Now we'll take care of this for Mary.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. And it's very rare that a spouse will say no to taking care of their spouse, right?
Yeah.
So, cool. Any we're gonna move on to more closing stuff, but any questions about EJ's intro and how he handles those initial smoke screens? Yeah.
How often? Well, I guess two-part question. First part is, how do you manage okay, this is gonna have to go straight to suitability, opposed to going through the whole structure?
That's a really good question. Number
two.
Yeah.
When you do get there, do you ever touch back on the why and the first why?
Mm-hmm. So
how do you know when to skip the structure and then just jump to suitability? That's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. So perfect. I do that actually a lot. So sometimes when I get like the objection in the beginning and stuff like that, and I kind of jump through it, as soon as I can break his character, as soon as I can break his defense a little bit, if I hear a giggle, if I hear him agree on something, I guess she put this in, and he'll give me a sudden tell. I'll be like, oh yeah, she probably does that a lot. I already broke him. I already know that I can at least ask more questions, because now we know I'm not the enemy. Technically, Mary is, because she put this in, right? But I listen to all those subtle things, because I will never I will die on the hill of the intro and suitability and the why, and never go into numbers if I don't get that, if I don't break him in the beginning. So no, I can't give you the straight answer. It just has to be sometime in the script or in your suitability. Again, if we're just jumping straight into suitability, he's answering my suitability questions. One of them would be you're 5'9", what's a good height and weight for you? 5'9", 180. Okay, and can you confirm, is the 180 pure muscle? He gives me this all good old crack. I got him. I got him. Now I can touch back after all the suitability, and then just making sure when she probably first put this in, again, I'm still going to bring up her, because, again, we figured out in the beginning that it wasn't him. So if you go back to him and ask him, just so I'm on the same page, how you guys were looking for funeral file expenses, he has no clue. So you assume again. So I guess just so I'm on the same page, do you think when Mary put this in, she was probably looking for the funeral file expenses?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, yeah, probably.
That's so good.
Yeah. So you have to assume again. You have to remember what you did, so you don't mess it up in the end again. But it's breaking that character.
And it makes sense why you're closing. So what you're doing there is you're keeping the same story, the same angles.
Exactly.
There's not because I've lost deals where he tells me Mary filled it out, or we're going on that story that Mary filled it out for him. And then I go to try to close, and I'm like, so yeah, obviously this was super important to you. And he's like, no, it was important to my wife. I don't give a shit. Yeah. And now I lost him. Mm-hmm. So, but what EJ is saying is you got to keep the same angle, the same story. Even if you break them, don't assume that all
he's
bets
all
are off
buddy with you.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the keys, it sounds like how you know that their guard is down is either a laugh, or I think if they expound on some of the answers, I think that's a sign to me all right, they're engaging. So I look for more input from them, like more explanation on stuff. And then I look for like naturally as humans, if we laugh together, we probably
Yep.
feel comfortable. So
Yep.
those two things I think are your
Yeah.
cue to
Absolutely.
continue.
Yeah. And then again, if you're just trust me, if you're not willing to die on that hill, you're gonna die later on anyway. So put all your time into breaking him before you show the numbers. Because if you don't show him if you don't break him before the numbers, he'll just leave you there. Well, I don't. Like I said, Mary put this in, so I don't know what she would have wanted. Now he's more.
His wall's still up.
Exactly, his wall's still
Yeah.
up. So it's just not good. And then what was your second question?
He answered it. I think you answered it with that question of like, when do you go back to it? I know you just kind of mentioned.
Yeah.
Just go back to it to make sure that you got
Yep.
the buy.
Just before the numbers, because my leverage as a salesman is the numbers. That's it. That's the only leverage I have. So I have to get everything out before I pull my final ace card.
And if you don't crack him or you don't feel like you're breaking him, you just don't get the numbers. But like, how do you divert that?
Then I'll just be like, okay, sounds good, sir. So you did the hardest part of the of this process today. Now we'll just wait for Mary to come back, just so we can finalize everything, so I can come back, reintroduce myself, and see what I can shop around by the time you guys are back. Basically, I'm lobbying it up this way that he did the hardest part for me, right? So at least he can feel something like he did something for Mary. But I'll always mention Mary as the key here. So I'll just set rather schedule a high intent appointment with Mary on it. That way there's no spouse objections. Think about our objections. They're like, this is becoming something too long because I just told him that he's the hardest part of the application. Now I'm going to do my due diligence, shop all the carriers, call some of the carriers, right? Because now I have more leverage with his prescription, so I can start naming those out, saying, looks like for this one there's only a specific amount of carriers that come back, but let me do my work here, call up this carrier, see if we can get the rates for them, right? So before I end, like I said, I'll die on that hill. I'll make a high intent appointment, bring up Mary, that she needs to be there, praise him, and end the call there.
That's good.
Yeah.
With those high intent appointments, what do you think your percentages for?
Well, probably 75% close. Yeah. If they answer. 25% is because they don't answer. The 75% is because they answer and I just close them.
When you're dialing, what do you think that number is call it close?
Dude, I'm telling you, I'll probably close every single guy that. It's hard to say because you just get some people that are just like, I don't want to do it. There's no objection. They're just shoppers. But if somebody at least a little bit of intent is there, I'm closing them. And I kind of showed that on Friday. There was a couple of guys watching me. They were giving me objections at the beginning. They were saying, oh, I'm just here to shop. I'm just here to do this. And I can just break people down. But the people I just can't break down, no one's going to break them down. At least that's why I think. If I can't break them down right there, move on. Whatever. Yeah.
And I think, is George here today or no? He was having a hard time for a couple weeks. And my advice to him was loosen up and actually build a relationship with the client.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You don't want to get distracted with rapport and take you off track. But you do, I think, a really good job. I've actually never heard you close all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
But I would imagine you make more. You have what am I trying to say? You probably make more clients laugh than most of us do.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week, I told the guy, he said something about me living in Denver, and I was like, oh yeah, I moved out as soon as possible. And he's like, why? And I was like, because I was slapped as a kid. These kids weren't. And he was just cracking. He was dying. He was like, oh my God, I got beat with a hanger. What about you? I'm like, yeah, just random stuff.
We'll cut that part out for your parents, I guess.
That's fine. They probably beat me with worse.
No, but that's something that I think is a key to your success too, is you have fun with it. And I assume your clients, they enjoy your company, because you make them laugh.
Yeah.
And it goes in line with everybody's guard is up at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then your goal is to break them down, and you do that by making them laugh, build a relationship, and then it's a lot easier to close that way.
Absolutely, yeah.
Was there another question over here, or no? He answered. Cool. Okay. So real quick, just for next few minutes, let's go over some closing stuff. So I think the mistakes when people have a bunch of presentations but can't close. Obviously, no why, no buy, right? So if you don't have a strong why, then it's hard to close. But I think some things we overlook is how you pre-frame going into numbers, and then how you handle the objections that come. Because do you agree that every single person is probably going to give you an objection at the
Mhm.
closing?
I'm just ready for
You're
it.
assuming it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's cover the pre-frame before numbers, and then I'll dish you some objections at the close, and
Mhm.
then we'll see how you handle that.
All right, Ty, that's going to wrap up all the suitability and for the health and defection side of things. Now, from here, Ty, as you get to plug all this stuff into the portal, it's going to shop every single A-rated carrier, but it does let me have an option here as a suggestion. Do you have somebody in mind that you've been kind of shopping around for? You want to go with specifically, or just whoever comes back the cheapest?
Oh, like a carrier?
Yeah.
No.
You told me you shopped around a little bit.
No, just give me whatever's the cheap, as long as they're a good company.
Yeah, and that was my next words, Ty. Whoever comes back the cheapest doesn't necessarily mean they're a crappy carrier. Everyone I work with is A-rated, so they're all noble and established.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. So let that load in for 2 to 4 minutes. While that's kind of loading up, Ty, let's structure your plan accordingly. You did let me know, obviously, that you guys were kind of looking for funeral final expenses, but Ty, have you and Mary really sat down? Obviously, what happens? God forbid you pass away today. Are you getting buried, cremated, thrown in the river? One of those three?
All the above.
All the above.
Buried in the river.
That sounds good.
After
I
I'm
mean,
cremated.
that's
Oh
good.
no, I'll probably go. I mean, my grandpa and dad and
Yeah.
everyone's been buried, so probably just burial.
It's more traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. And then just based off my experience, just for your knowledge, cremation goes anywhere from 5 to 10,000, and then burial goes anywhere from 10 to 20,000, somewhere in that end.
Okay.
Okay. And then so we'll be looking at that. And then as far as the final expenses, do you have any kind of six-digit debt you might be leaving it to Miss Mary? God forbid you pass away, or
Like debts?
yeah. Do you owe anybody like mafia the money? Nothing.
No.
Just a
No.
regular.
Just
mortgage
like our
loan?
house. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's our
So a
only
little
debt.
bit of chunk off the house, just so she's a little, more feasible throughout the
Sure.
years.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So let me just see here. So the funeral final expenses are about 15 to 20, and then probably how much are you paying for your mortgage, by the way? A month to month?
1,000.
1,000. Okay, so probably another 12,000 because that will just cover the year here. Okay, sounds good. Have that down. All right, and then as of right now, Ty, do you have anything in savings? Do you have any additional coverages? Because you told me you have no coverage or just the bare minimum to the VA.
Yeah, we just have the 10,000.
Okay, so
And
this should be
a little bit
plenty.
in savings, like a couple grand.
Gotcha, and then this should be plenty here, especially with the 10,000 you already have. So really, we're kind of just looking maybe just so it's a little bit more feasible on the budget, anywhere from 10 to 20,000. Okay, right, Ty? That's anywhere from 10 to 20,000.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Gotcha. Okay, no worries. And Ty, by the time we're talking here, looks like the carriers already came back. So go ahead and get that pen and paper out that you had from before. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I got it.
All right, sounds good, Ty. So what I want you to write down on that paper is that every single carrier is coming back with the same recommendation, that recommendation being a whole life plan. So on that paper, you want to write down whole life. So first things first, it's in its name. It's for the rest of your life. So 1, you cannot outlive the policy, and 2, the policy will never expire.
Okay.
The most important part about the coverage, or any coverage out there, that it is day 1 coverage. So there's no 2-year waiting stipulations or anything like that. As long as you get an offer back from the carrier today that you can get qualified for, you are approved and you are covered. God forbid something happens today while you're covered.
Okay.
Your parents are going to get that tax-free check the following week.
Okay.
All right. And then last but not least, my favorite part is that these plans are all level and they're all what is that? Fluctuate? No.
Fixed?
No, not fixed. Where you can move it around.
Oh, flexible?
Flexible, there goes. Sorry. So these are all level and flexible, meaning that the premium will never increase. Most importantly, the coverage will never decrease. It's not like car insurance. And there is no commitment today, and you don't have to make that decision today because you can start out with something low and go high whenever you please.
Okay.
Sounds good. So you have that written down, Ty?
Yep.
All
Flexible.
right. Perfect. So now, Ty, it looks like here they're coming back with the most cost-effective options first. And from there, if you don't like them, just yell at me and I can customize the way you like.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right. So it looks like here they're coming back for the first 10,000 at about, let's see here, just loading up, about $87 a month.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. All right. And then looks like the second option here is coming back about right in the middle at 15,000. That's coming back out 130.
Oof.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, so it looks like these were just as 2 system recommendations. They are kind of throwing the one in the middle between there, and that's coming back about 12,500 for about 115.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you have that written down, Ty?
Yep.
Now, like I said, these are just the most cost-effective. as far as in the carrier's eyes. Now, does one of those kind of sound better than the other in terms of a starting point? Or did you want to adjust anywhere in between?
No, the price isn't bad, but that's just not enough coverage. So I'll probably just call State Farm or something.
Okay. And I have State Farm right here. But before I get to the State Farm, when you say just not enough coverage, which option are you talking about?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because I wanted at least 20,000.
At least one time. Well, we can definitely do that for you, Ty. But before
But the 15.
Go ahead, Ty.
No, keep going.
Okay. And then Ty, before I show you the 20, because like I said, I can definitely show you the 20. But as far as right now, those 3 options still within the budget?
Just take my money, dude.
Sounds good. I will never show you more numbers.
No. Yeah. Keep going. I'll pause real quick. Because So one thing, it's hard to train on. You sound so good, dude.
Thank you.
That's crazy. So, damn, that was good. So basically, what I think people miss is like you're really good at isolating like whatever the objection is. You're good at moving on, sounding sure of yourself. You're maintaining control, but then you isolate. So like I cut you off a little bit, but you said, when I was like I wanted at least 20. The normal, like a new rep would be like, okay, let me just pull up 20 real quick.
Yeah.
But you were about to go into, okay, well, before we look at that, I mean, you already grunted at the 15 is what's going through your head, right? Yeah. Like the client gave you that, like at the 15, you already know they can't afford the 20.
So I just went to
let's isolate the real concern, which is price. And let's figure that out first. And so take me from there. So I'll pick it back up with, well, no, it's just not enough, EJ. I just really wanted the 20,000.
Gotcha.
That's what I want at least, bare minimum.
Like I said, Ty, these were just a recommendation. I can definitely just pull up the 20,000 for us. But before I do that, just kind of help me understand. As far as right now, the first 3 recommendations, are we still within the budget or are we kind of pushing it already?
The 15 is kind of high. What was the 15 again?
The 15 is at 132, Ty.
Yeah, I wanted to stay around like 100, 110 max.
100, 110 max. Okay, we can definitely do that. Let me just put that down. Okay, and as far as the 20, we can definitely do that, and we can set that as your goal, Ty. So obviously, if we're not within the budget for these first 3 recommendations, obviously the 20 is going to be just a little bit high. And now we want to obviously respect your budget. So what we can actually do here is start at something a little bit lower, where you said you 110.
Yeah.
Okay, and as long as you get an offer back from the carrier, Ty. Obviously, financial situations always change. So what we can do for you is have you start there. And as long as you get covered, like I said, it's all based off of the carriers. But as long as you get covered, later on, I can actually come back to this and we can increase it to 20,000 when it's just a little bit more feasible. Because like I said, Si, I'm on your team. It doesn't matter which one you get, but it does matter to me that you don't financially hurt yourself. Now, the 12,000, that's the one that's coming back about 115. I'm going to do you a favor and I'm going to do 11,000 right on the dot. And that's only coming back at 105. So that way you have a little bit of wiggle room. You have coverage plus the 10,000 you have from previous. You already have $20,000 in coverage. So God forbid something happens, Mary is covered. But in the future, we can always increase it to 20,000. Sound fair, Ty?
Okay. Pause there. I'm going to hit you with a thing about it, but I want to break that apart. So what in your all's opinion, is the client sold?
No.
Why not?
Because you just try to solve the issue of the price.
No, he is sold. He's sold on the price of 110.
Oh, yeah.
The client has agreed to a price, right? So obviously he's not sold, right? Yeah, maybe my words, but the client has agreed to a price.
Yep.
So now EJ's done the hardest part, is gotten the client to agree on like a direction, a price. So now EJ, all he has to do, that's the first part. The second part of the close is making the coverage make sense. So agreed on price. Now we just got to figure out the coverage. So, but what does he already know? Like as the client, I want more coverage, right? Like that, like he already knows that's the concern.
Yep.
So he painted this whole picture, this whole story of a couple things. So, getting 11,000 plus the 10 that I already have. Now the client's like, oh, I do actually already have 20,000. Now I'm off of that. You also painted this whole picture of like starting with something that's easy. You don't want to hurt my budget. Again, you're on my side. And you can always call me to increase. So those things, I think, if people don't close and there's good rapport, those are things that people miss, is like, you've anchored me down now to where no matter what, because I'm about to give you objections, but no matter what, I have said yes to 110.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's going to anchor you through the rest of
Yep.
the objection.
I just have to do
overcomes.
my job and let you know if we start at the 110 that I'm not killing your dreams of the 20,000. So that's why it took me. It was a little bit long, but I painted the whole entire picture of why starting at 110 will still give him the 20,000 later on. Is because, and then the most important part was always going back to what he already has, because people are fixated on this coverage and forget that they already have, like when you at a dealership, you already have a bunch of cars at the house. Like, dude, there's a bunch of cars still waiting in the house. So it's my job to bring it back to them and be like, dude, you already have 10,000. Let's not break your budget. You already have the 20,000. You just want more in this one, which we can just get later on. Like, it doesn't make sense for you. It doesn't make sense for me. And I'm on your team here. Like, I get nothing from this. Basically, that's what I'm trying to tell him. Yeah.
Okay. So, no, EJ, that does make sense, but I probably just need to run this by the wife,
Absolutely. Okay. And that's going to be my next part, Ty. Actually, like I said, there's no commitment today, and we actually can't do anything today because obviously we still have to get the offer back from the carrier. So obviously, you think you guys will probably need a couple days to think about it.
Yeah.
They're actually going to do you one big favor here. As long as they approve you today, they're going to give you a whole entire month to think about it. And like I said, there's nothing happening today. This is just probably going to get sent into underwriting. So our job today is kind of pick a starting point. And you said the 110 at the 11,000 is good for now. And obviously we can increase later on. And that way you can actually go and run this by her. Maybe she doesn't even need a 10. She probably needs another 5. We can always do that later on. Sound good?
Yeah, but I just want to mull it over tonight. I'll just call you tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And then probably, let's see here. Okay. So next thing, if this goes into underwriting, okay. So it should be done about 1 p.m. Sound good for you?
1 p.m.
Yeah.
tomorrow?
It's 1 p.m. tomorrow. The underwriters are going to come back with an answer at 1 p.m. I'll make sure of that.
Yeah.
Sound good. Okay. And as far as the starting point at 10,000, that's pretty comfortable, right? That's like a no-brainer for you.
Yeah, what was it? 105?
105. Okay.
Yeah, that one's
Sounds good. Okay, so like any other coverages, they just need to verify you. Go ahead and grab your driver's license or a state ID. We'll go ahead and get this sent over, and then by the time you come back at 1 p.m., we should have a yes or no. And if you can talk to Mary. Actually, I don't know. She probably takes a little bit longer, but at least you guys have that answer tomorrow. Sound fair?
Okay.
Sounds good. So then I just push on the approval and pushing on the underwriting. So then later on, how I save myself out of it, as long as she gets to the commitment, it's about just doing something for the. So on Ty, it's not about mulling it over, actually. It's just about the convenience of going through the shit again. Because we already spent so much time in the call. It's more of just like sitting here and giving me all these answers. He's already sold. So my job is to just actually push him into the application. I'm good. Because I know from everything makes sense. There's no point, right? He just wants to mull it over because he's just lazy. He just doesn't actually want to proceed to
And
do this.
it's a gut response. We're supposed to say we got to think about it.
Exactly. So then how I save myself, I actually took this from Evan. I didn't do exactly like him, but later on, when he's giving me all this information, right after the bank, I'll be like, all right, and then before he goes into underwriting, so 3 things might happen today. So the best case scenario, Ty, as soon as this gets sent to the underwriting, they'll immediately come back with us with an approval. That's the best news out there. Secondly, if it goes into underwriting, it'll just go into further underwriting, meaning that's probably going to take 1 to 2 business days. And then thirdly, they'll probably have to decline us, which you're pretty healthy. You told me you take nothing, which shouldn't happen. So now we're just going to, obviously we have the great news. As of right now, we did get the pre-approval, but we need to get the good news here and send this in here. So I'm going to press the submit button, and then we'll just hope for one of those things. And then I just saved myself from him saying later on, be like, oh, I thought he was going to go into underwriting and come back tomorrow, because I just saved myself by saying that he just got the best case scenario.
Yeah, people forget. So basically what you did there is
go back to the same story again.
You use, to get into the application, you use like a downsell, a pullback, like we're not committing to anything today. You do all that to bring down the wall to get into the application.
Yeah.
Because just like, it's just like the first part of the pitch. The first part of the pitch, there's a lot of objections in the intro, and then your goal is to get them through suitability. Usually in suitability, if they're willing to go with you, they've loosened up, they're listening. So on the closing side, maybe some closing objections, the guard is up, but then you get them into the application. The application is EJ's opportunity to build more rapport, ask about the grandkids, the skydiving joke, all the stuff to bring down their wall even more, to when he gets to the bank and asks for the business, because that's when, the bank is the business. You ask for it, they give it to you because now the guard is down again. And they forgot,
Yep.
because now you're talking about the 10 grandkids or whatever. You forgot about what you said earlier, like, no, we're not doing anything today. We're not committing to anything. Like, it's a lot easier to get it after you've gone through the whole application.
Yeah. But before you guys start pushing everything to the application, you just have to make sure that the whole entire objection is done and dealt with. It makes sense to him. It's just about being like convenience, right? So don't push your people into applications if you just know that you didn't solve everything.
Yeah.
Like, it does not make sense.
So in that case, how'd you know you solved it? Was it because you got an agreement on price?
Yep, I got almost 3 yeses from you.
Yeah.
You told me that you acknowledge that you know how coming back to me works. You acknowledge that the 110 will work for you. You already acknowledged for me adding up your past coverage and your current coverage that you're about to get. Everything makes sense.
Yep.
Now we know from the beginning that it was Mary who sent this in, right? And then now you're telling me that you have to mull it over. So it's not her decision. It's about you.
Yeah.
And again, it's a gut reaction of you not trying to commit right now and just out of the convenience.
Yeah. But the key is you isolated the price. That's where this all comes back to, is he knows that whatever BS this client gives, that they're cool with 110 or less.
Yep.
And the client said that.
Yep.
So that gives me confidence. When I hear that from a client, that gives me confidence to just keep going. Just keep going. Get into the application, because at their core, they're down for 110 a month.
Yep.
So cool. Any question? That's it for the role play. But any questions on closing or going into numbers that you guys wanted EJ's perspective on? Yeah.
If they're, I guess right before you get to banking, if they're saying like, well, I want to make sure I'm approved first before I give you my bank information.
I stopped doing that for that exact reason. I gave them that pre-approval. So right after before the beneficiaries, and I just say, all right, let's just wait here a little bit just so we can get the pre-approval, just to keep going. That's the way to do these applications. Make sure we do step by step, and if it doesn't let us proceed, obviously we know something's wrong here. So let's just sit here a while, and they're like, okay, like I want to wait for this pre-approval. Let's just wait here. All right, good news. Looks like we are trending towards a favorable answer, and the rating class did not change. So as far as the premium goes, again, this is me kind of touching back, still letting him know like that 110 is pretty good, because now if he was been hiding it all along that it's been the price, this also gets out of the way, so I can tell him later on. So he goes in so it looks like the rating class stayed the same. So the same coverage I quoted you for the 110 is still good to go. Obviously, this is great news, Ty, but not good news, because obviously the good news is get the full approval from the underwriting team that you're actually eligible to get this coverage for your family. So there we go. We're good to go. All right. So the best part of the application here, let's time this both. Mary, she's going to be the main beneficiary, correct, Ty?
Yep.
She's getting 100% of the share?
Yep.
She's not dealing with anybody else?
No, just her.
Sounds good. All right. So what's the correct spelling of her first name?
Mary
Last name?
Johnson.
Johnson. Good date of birth for her?
Yep.
All right. And then obviously, God forbid something happens, the carrier actually needs to call her directly. What's a good phone number for that?
Yep.
Sounds good. Perfect. All right. That's going to finish up. Good. All right. All right. Now we are almost at the last part of the application here, and I'll let you go. But looks like, Ty, as of right now, you are the insured and you are the owner. Now, is Mary going to be paying for the premiums, or are you?
No, me.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So there, again, he's giving me the yes, telling me he will pay for it. It's the better way to. He's giving me that answer instead of me asking for him directly. I'm assuming it's obviously the wrong assumption in order to get the right answer, right? Because I know Mary's not going to buy that, not going to be paying for this because he's doing it. So now
you lob up the wrong answer so they give you the correct one. Because people are more inept to correct you than they are to like if he asks me the hard question, now you're going to be the one paying for this. That's a tough question because he knows if he says yes.
Yep.
Whereas I'm going to correct you. No, she's not paying for it. She doesn't pay for anything.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We're spoiling her today, Ty. No worries. Okay, and as a veteran, Ty, they are going to ask you if you bank with a regular bank or a federal credit union.
USAA.
USAA. It's always that or Navy Federal. I don't know which one. Okay, Ty. Perfect. So let me type in and then USAA, and then that was started in San Antonio, Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. You've been banking with them for a while?
Yep.
It's pretty good. All right, let's just wait see if they work with them. Great. Looks like they do accept them as they are major financial institution here. Perfect. And they're actually going to do us a favor here, depending on which part of the state you started in, they're going to auto-populate your routing number. Sometimes it comes back wrong, so you can yell at me and correct me if you like, but the one that's coming back in front of me is the one that ends in 0001. Is that correct?
Sounds right.
Sounds right. Okay, no worries. And then you confirm that, or you just kind of said it on top of your head?
No, I don't have my checkbook with me.
Oh, no worries. Go ahead and grab that real quick because I just have to give them positive or negative feedback because they do this service for us. And then while you're pulling that up, I'm just going to write down some emails and stuff. So let me know when you're back.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, sounds good. Okay, and then did you want to use your checking or savings?
Checking.
Checking. Okay, let me just put that down. Checking, and then you did verify this correct. Okay, and then you said checking. I'll go ahead with your checking account number.
Oh, I don't want to give you that till I'm approved. I thought we were just getting approved.
Oh yeah, we do have the initial pre-approval from earlier, remember? So our class didn't change, and obviously in order to cover your whole entire family, this has to go into the underwriting team. That's why I let you know earlier that tomorrow at 1 p.m. at your convenience time, it's probably come back with that green light. Hopefully. Like I said, we don't know. I'm
Okay.
just kidding.
So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I'll just give you that number then.
No, so in order to get to the full entire answer, they will need a financial institution that matches your name so they know that somebody else is not opening this up on your name. Does that kind of make sense, Ty? It's another verification. It's just all federal law. And then whenever you're ready, Ty, don't feel like you're rushed. I know you said the checkbook was a little further away.
All right. I got it.
Okay, sounds good. And then let's see here. Where was I? Oh, okay, right. And then we confirmed the routing number, and then you said he was checking. All right, that's right. Go ahead with the checking account number.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. All right. Oh, was that it, Ty?
Yeah.
Is that a savings, Ty, or a checking?
Checking.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And what were the first numbers before the 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's the whole number?
Yeah.
All right, we'll just try to validate that real quick. Denied. Ty, what the fuck is that number?
So you give them the number. So I think the key though is to make sure, because that's the biggest trap is if you push so hard to get in the application just to get approved, eventually you're gonna have to ask for the business. So I think what he does is with the beneficiary, he still is using language like, all right, well, you want her to receive the money, right? Like you're getting this policy. Like you want Mary as your one and only beneficiary for your policy. He's using language that's like creating ownership already.
Yeah.
And then it creates a much more fluid segue into the bank because it's like, okay, well, money's going to Mary. She's the beneficiary. Obviously, we got to pay for this. Like, go ahead.
Yeah.
So I think if they do give you kickback, then you just stand firm with what he said, where it's like, well, yeah, of course, to send this in and get the full approval like you wanted, they do require this to
Never fold.
Yeah.
Never fold.
Yeah. Just keep pushing.
Yeah. You've gotten everything out just about like giving him that last little push. He wants this. You're not doing a disservice. You're not being a bad person. You're not being a strong arm, nothing. Some people need that. And at that point, I usually don't get one of those because I've done everything I possibly could to joke, to soft close, to implant in there that we're actually doing something.
Yep. Cool. That's it for time, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, CJ.